My wife arranged a meeting with her ex at a bar to test my patience. I stayed calm. He spent an hour belittling me. While she chuckled, then she declared, "Well done, you passed." I nodded, paid the bill, and left. The next morning, her ex called me in a panic. Because the test was my plan to catch him admitting on video that they were sleeping together. Sup, Reddit. I know. It already sounds like a mess. So grab some popcorn and let me tell you what went down. But first, I'll give you a quick background. I, 35 male, grew up in a single wide trailer outside Lexington, Kentucky. The kind of place where you learn early that nobody's coming to save you. Mom juggled 2 jobs just to keep the lights on. Dad disappeared when I was 6. I got through state college on scholarships and night shifts at a warehouse, loading trucks until my shoulders screamed. Graduated at 25 with a finance degree and exactly $0 in debt. I'd clawed my way to a 6-figure job as a financial analyst at a regional investment firm. I inherited my grandfather's house when he passed, paid off the remaining mortgage in 3 years, and had a retirement account that would make most 50-year-olds jealous. I wasn't rich, but I was comfortable. My life ran on routine. Work hard, save money, treat people right, expect the same back. Then I married Victoria, and things got complicated. She was 26 when we met, working some entry-level social media gig. I was 29, fresh off a promotion. We met at a mutual friend's cookout. She had this energy about her, made everything feel more interesting. Where I was all spreadsheets and structure, she was spontaneous weekend trips and trying restaurants. She made me laugh, made life feel less like a checklist. I thought we balanced each other out. I brought stability. She brought chaos. In a good way. We dated for 3 years before I proposed. Got married 6 months later. Small wedding. Her parents paid for most of it. The first year was good. Really good. She appreciated what I brought to the table. At least she acted like she did. I handled all the bills. She made our house feel like a home. We had our rhythm. But year 2 is when things started shifting. Started subtle. She'd get texts late at night and laugh at her phone. When I'd ask what was funny, she'd say it was just work drama or friend stuff. I'd mention feeling like we weren't connecting as much, and she'd flip it around. Tell me I was being clingy. Say I needed to give her space. That I should trust her more. So I backed off. Gave her that space. Figured maybe I was just being paranoid. Turned out my gut was right and I was just getting played. She started going out more with friends I'd never met. When I'd ask about them, she'd get defensive. Say I was trying to control her social life. Every conversation where I tried to express concern got twisted until somehow I was the problem. I was too possessive, too suspicious, too jealous. Classic playbook. The bomb dropped on a Thursday night in September. We were splitting takeout Chinese at our kitchen table. General Tso's chicken. Victoria just casually mentioned it between bites, like she was asking me to take out the trash. I need you to meet Brad this weekend. I looked up from my plate. Brad. My ex. Yeah. She wouldn't look at me, just kept twirling lo mein noodles on her fork. It's important to me that you can handle me having male friends. I need to know you're not going to be one of those insecure husbands. We'd been married for 2 years, together for 5, and now she needed to test whether I could handle her having male friends. Male friends who happened to be ex-boyfriends. When were you thinking? I asked. Kept my voice neutral. She looked surprised. Saturday night. There's this upscale lounge on Riverside. Brad suggested it. Of course. Sure, I said. Sounds fine. Her eyes narrowed. She'd been expecting pushback. Anger. Jealousy. Really? You're not going to make this difficult? Why would I? If he's just a friend, what's the problem? That made her smile. Good. I'm glad you're being mature about this. Mature. Right. Here's what you need to understand about Victoria. She loved games. Loved tests. Loved putting people in situations where she could evaluate whether they measured up to her standards. Early in our relationship, she'd cancel plans last minute to see if I'd get mad. She'd mention guys hitting on her just to watch my reaction. At the time, I thought it was just her personality. Quirky, unpredictable. I didn't see it for what it was. I was just some guy who thought he'd found someone who made his life more exciting. I was wrong. 3 weeks before Victoria dropped her lounge proposal, my phone buzzed during a Tuesday afternoon meeting. Text from my brother Cole. You need to see this. Calling you in 5 seconds. Cole was 4 years older than me. Worked in commercial real estate. Had 2 kids and a wife he actually treated with respect. We'd always been tight. He knew me well enough to know when something was serious. I excused myself from the conference room. Exactly 5 minutes later, my phone rang. What's up? I answered. I'm sending you photos. Don't react until you're somewhere private. My stomach dropped. 3 images came through. Some cafe I didn't recognize. 2 people at a window table. The angle was from across the street, zoomed in but clear enough. Victoria and some guy, holding hands across the table, her other hand touching his face. Both of them smiling like they were in some romantic comedy. The third photo was worse. A kiss, not some friendly peck. Where was this? I managed to keep my voice level. That cafe on Whitmore Avenue. I was there meeting a client for lunch, looked out the window, and boom. There they were. I took the shots from my car. Peter, I'm sorry, man. Victoria had told me this morning she was having lunch with her sister Harper today. Harper, who lived 30 miles away in the suburbs. When? About 20 minutes ago. I stared at the photos. Victoria was wearing the floral blouse I'd complimented that morning. This wasn't some old picture. This was happening right now. Thanks for telling me, I said. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. Need to think. Don't do anything stupid. And Peter, call me if you need anything. I hung up and just sat there. My first instinct was to call her immediately, confront her, demand answers. But something stopped me. If I called her right now, she'd spin it. I'd seen this pattern before, not this time. I saved the images and went back to work. When Victoria got home that evening, I was on the couch watching a World War II documentary, acting completely normal. Hey babe, she said, dropping her bag on the counter. How was work? Same old. Yours? Good. Lunch with Harper ran long. You know how she gets when she starts complaining about her job. Sounds exhausting, I said. Didn't even look away from the TV. She went to take a shower. While the water ran, I checked our joint bank account. There it was. Whitmore Avenue Cafe. $73. I took screenshots. Saved everything to the same folder. That night, lying in bed next to her, I started really paying attention. Once you start looking for cracks, they're everywhere. How had I missed all this? She was glued to her phone but angled it away from me. Had evening plans 3 times that week with friends I couldn't verify. The nights she came home late, she'd shower immediately. I checked our bank statements every morning after that. Designer shopping trips. Expensive dinners at restaurants we'd never been to together. A hotel charge for $230 that she explained as putting up a friend from out of town. Every lie was right there. I'd been blind. Not anymore. I called Cole the next day during my lunch break. Sat in my car in the parking garage. I need your help, I said. Name it. Victoria's definitely cheating. I need to document everything before I do anything. Can you help me keep track of her patterns? Absolutely. What's the plan? Gather evidence. Act normal. Let her think she's getting away with it. Then, when I'm ready, I'm going to divorce her. Cole laughed. That's my little brother. You want me to dig into the guy? Yeah. I'll send you the photos. 2 days later, he called me back. Got something good. Your wife's boyfriend is Brad Whitmore. I paused. Of course it's Brad. Her ex. What else? I asked. Works at Brennan Consulting Group as a senior director. But here's the kicker. He's engaged to a woman named Nicole Brennan, as in Michael Brennan's daughter, as in his boss's daughter, the guy who owns the entire company. I sat back in my office chair. Wait, what? You're kidding. Nope. This idiot's not just cheating on his fiancée. He's cheating on his boss's daughter, the same boss who founded the company 40 years ago and runs it like his personal empire. Guy's got a reputation for being old school about ethics and family values. This was better than I'd hoped. Send me everything you've got, I said. Already in your email. Peter? Bury this guy. Oh, I plan to. 2 weeks before the lounge ambush, I started setting the stage. I began acting slightly more present, just noticing, asking simple questions. The kind that would feel like pressure to someone hiding something. Victoria was texting during dinner one night. I asked casually, "Who's that?" She looked annoyed. "My friend." "Why?" "Just curious. You've been on your phone a lot lately. Are you serious right now?" "I'm allowed to talk to my friends." "Peter." I backed off immediately. "You're right. Sorry. Long day at work." But the seed was planted. A few nights later, she came home at midnight from a supposed girls' night. I was still up working on my laptop. "Fun night?" I asked. "Yeah, we went to that new place on 5th Avenue." "Which one?" Tiny hesitation. Just a split second. "The one with the blue awning?" I nodded like I knew exactly what she was talking about. I kept it up for 2 weeks. Little questions. Casual observations. Just present enough that she started feeling the walls closing in. She complained to her friends. I know because Cole happened to run into her friend Rachel at some networking event. Rachel immediately jumped to defend her. "She's just feeling suffocated. Peter's been really clingy." Cole played concerned brother perfectly. "That doesn't sound like him." Maybe he's just worried about her. 4 days later, Victoria proposed her test. Meet Brad. Prove I wasn't jealous. Perfect. Because while she thought she was testing me, I was already building her coffin. I went shopping that afternoon. Not for clothes, for insurance. There's this electronics store downtown that caters to security professionals. They sell everything from basic cameras to recording equipment. I walked in like I knew exactly what I wanted. Because I did. The guy behind the counter showed me a pen. Regular-looking executive pen. But the cap had a tiny camera built in. HD video. 4-hour battery. 128 gigabyte storage. Popular with lawyers and corporate types, he said. Records in 1080p. Microphone picks up everything within 15 feet. I bought 2. Then grabbed a small voice-activated audio recorder. Backup recording in case the pen failed. That night, I called Cole from my car in the garage. I'm meeting the guy Saturday. I'm going to record everything. Good. What else do you need? I need you to dig up everything you can on Brad and his fiancée Nicole. Social media, professional connections, family information, everything. I'm on it. You thought about the legal angle yet? We're in a fault-based divorce state. Adultery is grounds and I can use it to my advantage in asset division. Plus, she's been using our joint account to fund her affair. Good. Are you documenting the financial stuff too? Every penny. She's been using our joint account for hotels, dinners, gifts. All of it. Nice of her to create such a clear paper trail. Cole laughed. You're going to destroy her. That's the plan. By Wednesday, Cole had sent me a complete file on Brad. LinkedIn profile showed his position at Brennan Consulting. MBA from Wharton, all the corporate highlights. But his personal life was pure gold. He'd proposed to Nicole 3 months ago. Big public proposal at some charity gala her father hosted. Photos all over social media. The engagement announcement even made it into the business section of the local paper. Michael Brennan wasn't just Brad's boss. He was the founder and CEO. Started it from nothing 40 years ago. Built it into a regional powerhouse. A business profile I found called him a demanding perfectionist with traditional family values and zero tolerance for ethical failures. Brad wasn't just risking his relationship. He was risking his entire career. This guy's an idiot, Cole said when we talked that night. What's he thinking? He's thinking with the wrong head, I said. Saturday night arrived. I dressed nice. Button-down shirt, dark jeans, decent shoes. The recording pen was clipped in my jacket pocket, positioned perfectly. Voice-activated audio recorder in my pants pocket as backup. Victoria looked like she was attending a movie premiere. That burgundy dress. Hair professionally styled. Makeup flawless. The works. All for him. The drive to Meridian was mostly quiet. She kept checking her phone, smiling at texts I couldn't see. Brad was already in the corner booth when we arrived. He stood when he saw us. Mid-30s. Expensive tailored suit. That gym rat build. Hair styled with that carefully messy look. The kind of guy who definitely owned boat shoes. Victoria, he said, pulling her into a hug that lasted about 5 seconds too long. His hands rested on her lower back. Then he turned to me, extended his hand. You must be the husband, Brad. His handshake was aggressive. I matched his pressure exactly. Let go first. Peter, I said. Good to meet you. I slid into the booth. Victoria sat next to Brad, directly across from me. Right there, I knew exactly what this was. This wasn't a friendly meetup. This was a show. And I was supposed to be the audience. Brad ordered an expensive bottle of sparkling cider without asking what anyone wanted. $240 for fancy juice. For the first 20 minutes, he barely acknowledged I existed. Just sat there reminiscing with Victoria about their relationship. Remember that trip to Sonoma? He said, his arm draped behind her on the booth. That vineyard where you got so excited you started dancing with the barrels? Victoria laughed. The kind of genuine laugh I hadn't heard in months. Oh my gosh, yes. That weekend was amazing. How could I forget? Best weekend of that whole year. Brad made direct eye contact with me. Establishing territory. We should do that again sometime, Victoria said. Then caught herself. I mean, it was such a great trip. Smooth recovery, not. I just sipped my overpriced sparkling cider and let them play their little game. The recording pen captured everything. About 45 minutes in, Brad started in on me. Subtle digs at first. So you're a financial analyst, he said. Made it sound like the most boring job he'd ever heard. That's stable. Pays the bills, I said. I bet. Victoria always had expensive tastes, though. He squeezed her shoulder. Hope you can keep up with what she needs. I manage. Brad just got promoted to executive director, Victoria said, voice practically glowing with pride. He's flying to Singapore next month. Isn't that amazing? Impressive, I said. Completely flat. Brad leaned forward, getting bolder now. You know what's interesting? Victoria used to date guys with real ambition. High risk, high reward types. People who weren't afraid to take chances. He gestured at me with his glass. No offense, but you seem safe. Victoria giggled. Actually giggled. I took another sip of my drink. Everyone values different things in life. That's a diplomatic way to put it, Brad said. Another way to say it is some people reach for the stars, and others just watch from the ground counting pennies. For over an hour, I sat there and absorbed it. He mocked my job, my clothes, my personality. He told stories designed to make me feel small, always with little barbs aimed at me, always with Victoria touching his arm, leaning into him, laughing. The recording devices captured all of it. Then Victoria excused herself to the bathroom. The moment she was out of earshot, Brad's mask dropped completely. He turned to me with this smug grin. Look, man, I'll be straight with you, he said, voice low, confident. This whole thing? It's her way of showing you where you rank. She wanted to see if you'd fight for her, but you're just sitting there taking it like a chump. It's actually kind of sad. Maybe I don't need to fight, I said. Maybe I trust her. He actually laughed at that. Trust. Right. You know we still talk, right? Late at night sometimes. She tells me things, says she misses the excitement with me. This was it. Time to bait the hook. I leaned forward, put on my most vulnerable face, made my voice uncertain. Listen, Brad. I love Victoria. I really do. And I know you two have history. But she's my wife now. She told me you're just friends. I just need to hear that from you. For my peace of mind. Man to man. It was like throwing gasoline on his ego. He sat back, chest puffed out, savoring every second, looking around to make sure no one nearby could hear. Friends? Yeah, sure. We're friends. He paused, smiled. Really close friends. The kind that share more than just conversation, if you know what I mean. I need you to be clear, I said. Let my voice waver slightly. What are you saying? Are you sleeping with my wife? He leaned forward, looked me dead in the eye, grinned like he'd just won the lottery. Every chance I get, buddy. Beautiful. Clear as crystal. Recorded in HD. Victoria came back a minute later, slid into the booth next to Brad. She glanced between us, sensing something had shifted. What did I miss? She asked, almost nervous. Just getting to know your husband better, Brad said smoothly. Man-to-man talk. We stayed another 15 minutes. More drinks, more insults wrapped in fake politeness, more physical contact between them. Finally, Victoria looked at her watch, then at me with this satisfied smile. Well, I think that went really well. She turned to face me fully. You handled that perfectly, Peter. You didn't get weird or jealous. You didn't make a scene. You passed my test. Those words. You passed my test. I smiled, small and controlled. Good to know. Then I pulled out my wallet, dropped enough cash to cover the bill plus tip, stood up. You two have a great rest of your evening. I walked out, didn't wait for a response, didn't look back. Outside, I took my first breath in hours. My mind was clear. They'd given me everything I needed. Now comes the fun part. I drove home in silence. My brain was already running through next steps. Cole was waiting at my house when I got there. I'd given him a spare key weeks ago, specifically for this. How'd it go? He asked. Better than I could have hoped. I pulled out both recording devices. Got everything. We spent the next 3 hours transferring files and editing video. The pen camera had captured everything perfectly. Clear shots of Brad and Victoria. Every touch, every laugh, every moment of physical intimacy between them. And most importantly, Brad's confession. His exact words admitting to the affair. Cole helped me cut it down to a tight 7-minute video. This is really good, Cole said. You sending this to his fiancée? Her and her father. Cole whistled. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. While Cole worked on compressing the final video file, I started drafting emails. I'd already consulted with a lawyer friend 2 weeks ago. Nothing official. Just confidential advice. He'd walked me through divorce procedure, explained my options, told me what evidence I'd need. We lived in a fault-based divorce state. Adultery was explicit grounds and could significantly impact asset division, especially since Victoria had been using our joint bank account to fund her affair. That was marital misconduct, financial infidelity on top of regular infidelity. The house was mine, inherited from my grandfather. Never added her name to the deed. She had zero claim to it. Our joint savings account had $48,000. But she'd been spending my contribution on hotels and dinners with Brad while I paid all the household bills. That was going to be a very interesting conversation in divorce court. I drafted the email to Nicole first. Nicole, you don't know me. My name is Peter. Until very recently, I was happily married to a woman named Victoria. I discovered that your fiancé Brad has been having an affair with his ex for several months. I'm sharing this with you because you deserve the truth. I attached the video link below. The second email was to Michael Brennan. Mr. Brennan, I'm writing to inform you of conduct by one of your senior executives that I believe reflects poorly on your company's values. Your senior director, Brad Whitmore, has been engaged in an ongoing affair with my wife. While this is primarily a personal matter, I'm bringing it to your attention for two reasons. First, Brad is engaged to your daughter, Nicole. As a father, I believe you would want to know about behavior that directly affects your daughter's well-being. Second, Brad's judgment and personal integrity are clearly compromised. Someone willing to betray their life partner and deceive their boss's daughter may not represent your company appropriately. This is not blackmail or extortion. You simply deserve to know about the character of the people representing your organization. I attached the video link to both emails. Set up a private hosting site with password protection. Cole read them over my shoulder. You're about to ruin this guy's entire life. He ruined it himself. I'm just making sure the right people know about it. When are you sending them? I checked my watch. 1:53 a.m. Right now. I hit send on both emails simultaneously. Then the real work began. Cole helped me pack all of Victoria's belongings. Everything. Every piece of clothing. Every shoe. Every accessory. Makeup from the bathroom. That ridiculous collection of decorative pillows. Books. All of it. We filled 23 boxes and stacked them neatly in the garage. Labeled each one. While we packed, I transferred $30,000 from our joint account into my personal account. Left her with $18,000. More than fair, considering she'd spent thousands of my money funding her affair. I called the bank's automated system at 3 a.m., removed her access to our joint credit card, reported unusual and unauthorized charges from the last 2 months, changed all my passwords, email, bank accounts, investment portfolios, social media, everything. Updated the house alarm code. Sent an email to my HOA with Victoria's photo attached, requesting she not be allowed through the security gate without my explicit approval. By 6 a.m., everything was done. Cole headed home. I slept for 4 hours. I woke up at 10 a.m. to my phone exploding. 73 missed calls. Over 200 text messages. Victoria's messages told the whole story. Where are you? Why won't you answer? This isn't funny. My card isn't working? Answer your phone. I'm coming over right now. I made coffee and ignored all of them. Sat at my kitchen table reading through her increasingly panicked messages like morning news. Around 11 a.m., an unknown number called. I answered. Heavy breathing. A man's voice. Completely wrecked. You destroyed my life, Brad. I'm sorry, I said calmly, sipping my coffee. Who is this? You know exactly who this is. His voice cracked. Nicole saw the video. Her father saw it. I'm done. My job is gone. My relationship is over. Why would you do this? I took another sip of coffee. You spent Saturday night bragging about sleeping with my wife. You humiliated me for 2 straight hours. I just made sure the people in your life knew who you really are. Seemed fair. It was just talk. Guy talk. I was exaggerating. Were you? Because it sounded pretty specific to me. Every chance I get, you said. Your exact words, Brad. You recorded me illegally. That's wiretapping. I can sue you. Actually, in this state, only one party needs to consent to recording. But go ahead and sue. Your lawyer will love playing that video in court for a judge. He made us sound like a wounded animal. Actually sobbing now. Please, you have to tell them it wasn't real. That you edited it. Please, I'll do anything. I'll pay you. Nope. I hung up. Blocked the number. Victoria tried calling from 3 different numbers before I finally answered the 4th one. What the heck did you do? She screamed. I documented the truth and shared it with the appropriate people. Seemed like the right thing to do. You recorded us! That's insane. That's controlling and creepy and you've been cheating on me for months. Which one of us is really the problem here, Victoria? You can't prove anything. I can prove everything. I have Brad on video admitting you're sleeping together. I have bank statements showing you spending my money on your affair. I have photos from 3 weeks ago of you kissing him at that cafe. Want me to keep going? Silence. Complete silence. Where's my stuff? She finally asked. Voice smaller now. Boxed up in the garage. 23 boxes, all labeled. I'll have movers deliver them to your parents' house Tuesday. You can't kick me out. This is my home. Save it. This is my house. I inherited it. I'm your wife. Not for long. Divorce papers are being filed Monday morning. Virginia is a fault-based divorce state. Adultery works heavily in my favor. Her voice turned vicious. You're going to regret this. My sister Harper's a paralegal. We'll take you for everything. I actually laughed. Harper? The paralegal who barely passed her certification exam on the third try? Good luck. I've already moved most of our joint savings to my personal account. The house is mine. My retirement account is separate. My investment portfolio is separate. You get to keep whatever you brought into this marriage, which if I recall was about $12,000 in credit card debt and a used Honda. You can't just take our money. I left you $18,000. That's incredibly generous. My lawyer thinks I have a strong case to claim all of it back based on your misuse of marital assets. You're trash. You're a cheater who got caught. Don't contact me again unless it's through lawyers. I hung up before she could respond. She tried calling back 17 times. I sent every single call straight to voicemail. An hour later, my HOA security called. Mr. Mitchell, your wife is at the front gate demanding entry. She's quite upset. She's not allowed on the property per my email this morning. If she doesn't leave voluntarily within 5 minutes, please call the police for trespassing. Understood, sir. She left 4 minutes later. Brad's downfall was swift and public. Cole sent me a link Monday afternoon. Regional business news site ran a story. Brennan Consulting parts ways with Senior Director Brad Whitmore. The article was deliberately vague, but cited personal conduct inconsistent with company values. Anyone in the industry would know exactly what that meant. Nicole posted on social media the same day. Photo of a beach sunset. Caption: New beginnings. Grateful for truth and family. Good for her. Harper called me Tuesday morning. I let it go straight to voicemail. She left a 3-minute rant about how I was controlling, abusive, manipulative, how Victoria deserved so much better. I forwarded the voicemail to my lawyer with a note. Document this in case of harassment claims. He sent back. Already on it. By the way, opposing counsel reached out. Victoria wants to negotiate terms. Tell them no. Are you sure? They're offering to waive any claim to marital assets if you agree not to pursue recovery of the money she spent. Tell them I want full discovery of her financial records for the past year. I want it acknowledged in writing that the divorce is due to her adultery, and I want her to pay her own legal fees. Non-negotiable. Got it. Victoria didn't take that well. Wednesday morning, she showed up at my office building. Security called before letting her up. Mr. Mitchell, your wife is in the lobby asking to see you. She's refusing to leave. Tell her I'm in a meeting and she needs to go through my attorney. She's refusing to leave, sir? She's causing a scene. I sighed. I'll be down. Victoria was in the lobby, looking like she hadn't slept in days. Makeup smeared, hair a mess, surrounded by curious coworkers pretending not to stare. Peter, there you are, she started. Listen, we need to talk. This is all just a huge misunderstanding. Leave, I said calmly. Right now. You can't kick me out without hearing me. You are making a mistake. I said leave. Don't make me call the security. Her face crumpled. Tears started flowing. You're really going to throw away 5 years over one misunderstanding? Misunderstanding? You had a full affair for months. You humiliated me while your boyfriend bragged about sleeping with you. Those aren't mistakes, Victoria. They're choices. Peter, let's just fix it like adults. This is so unnecessary. She started reaching for my arm. I stepped back. You have 10 seconds to walk out, or I'm calling security. She just stood there, crying. I pulled out my phone, dialed security. Yes, I need someone to escort my wife out. 1 minute later, 2 security guards appeared within a minute. They took her gently by the arms. I walked her to the exit. She screamed the whole way. Stuff like, I'll make sure you regret this. You can't do this to me. My boss pulled me aside afterward. You okay, Peter? I'm fine. She won't be back. Sorry you're dealing with this. If you need time off, I'm good. Work actually helps. By Friday, Victoria's entire life was imploding. She'd moved back in with her parents, into their tiny 2-bedroom condo. At 31 years old, Harper tried one more time to reach me via email. Peter, you're a coward and a bully. Victoria made one mistake and you're destroying her entire life over it. Real men forgive. You're just proving you were never good enough for her. You'll die alone and bitter. I forwarded it to my lawyer. Cole called that evening. You heard the latest about Brad? What now? Not only did he get fired, but Nicole's father is actively blacklisting him. Word is Michael Brennan made some calls. Brad can't get a job anywhere in consulting now. He's moved back to his parents' place in Ohio. 40-year-old man living in his childhood bedroom. Thoughts and prayers, I said flatly. Cole laughed. Ice cold, man. The divorce moved forward quickly. Victoria's lawyer tried to fight initially, but they had nothing. The evidence was there. The adultery was documented. The financial misconduct was clear. My lawyer was efficient and brutal. Every motion they filed, he countered with evidence. Every claim they made, he disproved with documentation. 6 weeks after I sent those emails, Victoria signed the divorce papers. She got $18,000 from our joint account, her personal car, and her belongings. That was it. I kept the house, my retirement accounts, and my investment portfolio. The divorce decree cited her adultery as grounds. Public record. She tried to fight one last time. Her lawyer sent a letter threatening to sue for emotional distress, claiming I'd intentionally destroyed her reputation. My lawyer sent back a 2-page response documenting every instance of her misconduct. Then he noted that we'd be delighted to discuss her behavior under oath in civil court. We'd bring everything. The video, the bank statements, the photos. They withdrew the threat within 24 hours. 3 months after the divorce was finalized, I was in my garage on a Saturday morning when the doorbell rang. The security camera showed Victoria standing there. She looked nothing like the woman I'd married. She'd lost weight, not in a healthy way. Her clothes hung off her, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. No makeup. She looked like she'd aged 10 years. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. "Hey," she said quietly. "What do you want, Victoria? Can we talk, please?" "No, we have nothing to talk about." "Please, Peter." 5 minutes. I stared at her. Then I crossed my arms. "Talk!" She took a shaky breath. "I made a terrible mistake. I was stupid and selfish, and I hurt you so badly. I'm so sorry." I said nothing. Then, "Did Brad bounce?" "It's not about that. Brad was nothing. I don't even know why I did it. I think I was just bored. Scared of commitment, maybe." Tears started rolling down her face. "But I love you. I've always loved you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me, and I threw it away for nothing. Still nothing from me. I'm losing my job. My friends won't return my calls. I'm living in my parents' guest room. I can barely afford groceries. Harper won't even talk to me because she says I did this to myself." "Well, she's right," I asked flatly. "But I'm asking for another chance. Please, we can go to counseling. Whatever you want, I'll sign a postnup. I'll prove I've changed. Just please give me one more chance." I let the silence hang there. Then I laughed. Not a polite chuckle. A real, genuine laugh. "You actually think I would take you back? After everything? People make mistakes. You didn't make a mistake, Victoria. You made a series of choices over several months. You lied to my face every day. You spent my money on your affair. You brought me to a lounge specifically to humiliate me. I know, but... And now you want to come back? Now that you've hit rock bottom? Now you suddenly remember that I'm the best thing that ever happened to you? I'll do better. I swear. You had 5 years with a guy who loved you, supported you, gave you a home and a life. You threw it away for what? Some corporate guy with nice hair? It wasn't about him. No, you're right. It was about you. It's always about you. You never once thought about what I needed. I was just your safety net while you went shopping for upgrades. That's not true. It is true. And you know what's funny? I'm actually happy now. And I'm seeing someone new. Someone who doesn't play games or run tests." Her face completely crumpled. "You're seeing someone? Did you think I'd just sit around waiting for you? I'm 35 years old. I make good money. I'm in decent shape. And I'm not a cheater. I had women reaching out within days of the divorce. But I have nothing. I need your help. What you need is to learn that actions have consequences." "No, wait. Good luck with your life, Victoria. I genuinely hope you find what you're looking for. But you won't find it here." I closed the door in her face and walked back to the garage. She rang the doorbell 4 more times. Then started calling. Then texting. I ignored all of it. She finally left about 20 minutes later. Cole called an hour after that. "Your ex just called me crying. Begged me to talk to you. Said you were being unreasonable." "What did you tell her?" I told her I don't tell my brother what to do with his personal life. Then I told her she made her bed. Then I hung up. "Thanks, man. That's what brothers are for. You good, though?" "Yeah, actually, I really am." And I was. Genuinely. That night, I cleaned out the last of Victoria's stuff from the garage, donated most of it, threw some away, kept absolutely nothing. The house felt better without her. Life was finally peaceful. Some people might say I went too far, that I was cruel. Well, those people can go pound sand. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube this video deserves to blow up, and it keeps even crazier stories coming your way.